just kills people. And then Homelander, like there's moments like the plane scene where there's times where he could actually save like tons of people's lives, but he's just too lazy or doesn't feel like doing it. And then like Neighbor, like one of the other heroes will be like, I want to save their lives. And then he'll just like threaten their lives and be like, don't tell anyone about this or anything. And just mess them up so much mentally because they want to save these people. But Homelander just doesn't, even though he could.
Right. Yeah. He just wants the persona of being like a superhero, but he doesn't want to do any of the work.
No, not at all.
But yeah, no, I watched that actually on my honeymoon with my wife. We like had one day where we just relaxed and binged watched The Boys.
Yeah. No, and the comic's even more fucked up too. Like,
right. I didn't know it was a comic.
Yeah, and that plane scene, yeah, it was originally a comic. The plane scene that you saw, that was originally released on 9/11 when they
really,
yeah.
You know what's ironic?
Even more messed up.
You know what's ironic? Speaking of superheroes and stuff like in comics, me and my friends were literally like prior to this live stream, we were like literally just talking about what like comic character is stronger than the other, and we were comparing Marvel versus DC and stuff like that, which is I find it kind of funny that now that I had that conversation, we're talking about comics and characters and stuff like that. So it's just a little funny.
It was reminds me of Death Battle where they pose like superheroes against anime characters or Marvel and DC characters against each other.
Right. Dude, there was one of my buddies is really into DC comics, and like me being like a weeboo, I had never really watched or read much of the like American comics other than, I watched like the Avengers and stuff like that. But I watched some of the DC like animated movies with him, and they actually get pretty badass. Like I watched one that was like the Flashpoint Paradox or something like that. And it's like Flash runs around the world or something, and like it like puts them in like an alternate universe, and like there's like all these anti-heroes, and like all the heroes just start killing each other, and it gets pretty freaking nuts.
Oh, you should watch what's the Doomsday movie. Oh my god, that is the most messed up superhero movie of all time, or something Doomsday. It has like all the superheroes and just almost everyone. Like it makes Infinity War just seem like pussy shit. Like it's just so violent and all these, like so many people die and all these superheroes die, and just I was like not expecting to watch like such a brutal movie. Like even compared to other animes I've seen, like this was like really up there.
Right. Yeah, it seems like Marvel is kind of like more PG when it comes to that stuff, and DC is like edgy as fuck.
Oh, very edgy. Or if you watch the Harley Quinn show, which I think is actually one of my favorite animated shows of all time, they did so good with the Harley Quinn show. It's like the South Park of like comic shows. Like it's hilarious. Like it's so vulgar and just it does not hold back, and it's just hilarious.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even know that there was is it like on Adult Swim or was it on a like
HBO? I think it's on HBO or Amazon or some other streaming service.
Oh shit, I did not know that. That sounds interesting.
Oh, it's very good.
What is it? The one that was really good, like The Killing Joke or something.
Oh, Killing Joke. Yeah, that was really good. Oh, yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, but now let's go back to Stone Ocean. So you guys, what do you think of Stone Free? Since I guess you guys have seen it.
Yeah, now that we've seen Stone Free, like it is not what I expected it to look like at all.
Right.
And the way Stone Free came to be, like the way Stone Free got its form was just crazy. And like I feel like this part of JoJo is a lot more graphic. Maybe it's just because it's the manga, but I feel like it's more graphic than the other parts of JoJo. Like,
oh yeah.
For example, like when she was getting larger, you can kind of see her body parts like getting, trapped in the bars, and I was like, oh shit, it's about to go down. And
right.
But no, I'm honestly enjoying. Like, I feel like I wanted to read past the 15 chapters, but I feel like since we put up that mark, I feel like I had to stop there. But I wanted to know what was gonna happen so bad.
You should. Oh my gosh, no, it gets so much better. Like it's so long too. Like I'm not even done with it. And I've been reading this on my downtime at work, and I'm still not finished with it.
Right. I didn't know you said when you said 110, like you're on chapter 110. I was like, Jesus, how I thought this was like an arc. I didn't realize it was like its own series.
It's the longest part to JoJo so far.
Really?
Like it is
Okay.
freaking long.
Right. Stone Free though, like I feel like I still haven't really understood or like seen the extent of what it can do. Like
Well,
like it's I mean when we see it like make like the 3D form,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, so it has like a physical form. It can actually be like, you know, a physical like 2 meter range kind of stand like most of the Joe stars are, but it also now has like a long range option, which we haven't really seen with any of the Joe stars yet. Which is
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like this part, not even just with Jolene, I feel like this part, stand users have more than one form of their stand. Like they can use, like for Jolene, for example, she can use her hand to use her stand, and she has the actual physical form for her stand.
right.
And guess she doesn't need the stand to shrink you, but the stand also has a physical form. So I feel like I feel like stands are going to be a lot more complicated this this part than they were prior.
oh yeah, very very technical. Especially one of my favorite stands. You're about to see the Foo Fighters stand. That one is very technical and just the Foo Fighters. Yeah, that's a pretty brutal chapter too when you get to it as well. But that's a very difficult one to explain. And on top of that, it's actually its own. It's on its own free will. It's not actually a person who has a stand. It's actually a stand going on its own free will.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I'm curious about this kid. Like, what is the relevance of this kid that is like running around in an adult prison?
you will see. He's a trippy character. That's all I have to say. Like it's just trippy. His existence in there and just getting to know more about it. It just trips me out.
So he's not a stand. He's an actual human being.
No, he's not a stand user. You'll see.
Okay.
Right, yeah, because I thought he was like a stan or
Yeah,
something.
I thought so too.
I was like, I didn't think he was a real person because he was kind of just like disappearing and like coming out of nowhere. And then they find then like in this last chapter we just read where they're like fighting, it's like, okay, he actually is a physical being.
Yeah, this chapter you'll get to find, or in this part, there's a lot of things that happen in this part that, or in this prison that, of course, would never happen in any other prison because there's all this other crap that's just going under everyone's nose in the prison of like all the hiding in the people there. That's insane. But yeah, there's this other guy, this stand called Diver Down, which I think is probably one of my favorite stands of all time.
See you later, K Gemma. He's going to bed. Oh, he just said, Eric, how excited are you for Gretzko season 4?
Very fucking excited. And I hope they release it maybe sometime next year or the year before. I have high hopes for it. I was kind of pissed off that they were actually planning on ending it there. I had made a little video about that because I was legitimately mad that they were just going to fucking end it right there. But apparently the fans and Netflix wanted more. So they're like, oh shit, now we have to do something about this. And right. I don't know. Now my hopes are kind of like they might make something that, or I think they'll make something that some people will like and some people will hate. Like they're just going to do something to fuck with our feelings even more. Because after knowing that they would do that, I'm like, okay, now I really don't trust these guys. Like they do not care about our feelings.
We just want that Haida pie.
I just want a fucking hyena panda. I want a crossbreed. I want fucking chimeras. I want it to be like B-stars, and I want some freaking animal hybrids.
A Gretzko hybrids.
Yeah, they don't explain it because everyone in that show, no one fucking, like everyone's interspecies dating. I've never seen like barely any couples that are the same species. Like everyone's like dating different species from each other.
Right.
Like, can they have kids or like how does this work? Like I want them to explain that more. I want hybrids.
Right. No, well the stork, it just comes and drops off the babies.
Maybe that's why sex isn't relevant in that show. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, they don't have to have sex.
Yeah, man. Imply it.
You just will a baby into being.
Yeah, they didn't make sex irrelevant in that show because the furries would go nuts if they did. It's not
right. But what is the sniper dude's stand's name? Zonglani Ah, I think is his name.
Yeah, it's a very.
Yeah.
I don't remember that because he's not in it for too much longer. But
Right.
like,
It made it seem like he was going to be this big.
Yeah, I thought he
like,
was the big
I thought he was going to be
antagonist.
like the main bad guy. He like plotted all this stuff. Is like he's the one that he's in jail purposely. And
there
like
is a much bigger bad guy, and this guy has probably one of the most OP stands. Like
Really?
this stand, it seems if you're gonna see him in the next few chapters, but White Snake, another band
Ooh.
reference.
Right.
Yeah, no, that is a very very OP stand. Like in
Right.
especially towards the ending, like what he can do with it. I don't know how many too many spoilers I can give out, but yeah,
Right.
very very OP stand.
But yeah, I mean, but they really made it seem like this guy was going to be like the cream of the crop. I mean, like he had all this plotting and all this planning just to like have one fight.
It's a good fight. It's a very good few sets of chapters, but there's even more crazier, more technical, well thought out bad guys coming up, and heroes too as well. Like,
right,
especially when you see Ivor down, that's a really good one. And oh my god, this guy, you're about to see this dude. Like, he's probably, I would say, I compared to any character in any anime, any manga I've ever read, he is the most effeminate looking dude I've ever seen in any JoJo's part. Like he makes like Devalo look like I don't know, but they had this thing like he has like the most feminine outfit ever. He has a skirt like fishnet, like pink hair, like a hat, like the Darling in the Franxx kind of like ears. But he has like a really like masculine body. He's like pretty freaking jacked, even like comparatively to like the other ones. Like but just looks like pink lipstick, and it just.
I mean, even the guard, like the last guard that we saw, the one that like kind of like smashes her hands.
I thought that was a girl.
I thought it was a girl too, but it was like it was a guy.
Oh no, you should see. You got to see this dude. He takes the cake. Like even Foo Fighters, like no one even questions it in JoJo's too. Like everyone else just is like, no, it doesn't say anything about it. It's like it's normal. And then the only character that questions it is Foo Fighters. Like the whole time, Foo Fighters is like, that's a guy. Like the only character that questions it. Like Foo Fighters is like one of the most like sensible characters, and he's not. They're not even like a human.
Like I mean, they definitely blur the lines.
Yeah, well, if Foo Fighter doesn't fit in, is he can steal people's bodies and use them to like it's to be a human and like walk around and stuff.
Okay.
Interesting. So how far do you think you guys how far do you want to read for the next episode, kind of? Because I feel like I might want to read a little bit past 12 chapters, 13 chapters.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm fine with reading a decent amount since all of like the shows we're kind of watching right now are taking like a week break. Like we have, I mean, there's really nothing to watch until the 10th.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, you can binge it pretty well. I mean, it's really long, but I mean, at work, I was able to binge like 30 chapters.
Currently, I'm watching an anime that Kate Genma begged me to watch. It's like it's called I actually have it on my TV here. It's like Tonikawa Over the Moon for You, and like it's about these two people that get married in like the first episode, second episode. Mm-hmm. Because he knows I like romance anime, so he like begged me to watch because we were on a Discord call and we were just talking for like an hour, and yeah, I'm honestly loving this anime. Like I fell in love with it the first episode. I guess KJ knows I fell in love with it.
My suggestion, I guess, definitely read more of Stone Ocean, but I think we should watch The Wolf Child. I really highly recommend that one. It's a very high-rated anime movie, and it's also total furry bait too, but it's really, really good. Like everyone loves it. It's like a very, very high-rated movie.
What are you watching?
You talked about it last time.
Yeah, I watched it over on Discord. I kind of want to watch it again just to brush up more on it because I wasn't able to watch the whole thing. But
where is it on, Eric?
It's on, I forgot which streaming website. I had to my friend pirated it and we just watched it on Discord, but it's you would really like it, Noel. It's like one of those it gets you in the feels kind of romance animes, but done very, very well.
Okay.
And it has wolves too. Which just makes it awesome just because of that.
That's always a plus, yeah.
I love the wolves.
So what do you guys think of Jujutsu Kaisen so far?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, I hate where they ended off the ending. I'm not sure I hope they didn't end the season
No, they didn't. It's coming back in like the next 2 weeks.
Okay. But
I was gonna say, I feel like they kind of have to do like that 26 episode,
yeah.
kind of like Demon Slayer style thing, where they do like one long season, maybe a movie, and then another long season. Because I think where is it ending, or like where are we at so far? I've watched up to like episode 10 of the anime.
I feel like we just passed like the fight between the soul. Like I keep forgetting his name. The guy that morphs souls.
Mahito.
Yeah, Mahito. Yeah, we just
Mahito. Okay, yeah. So Mahito, like Nanami and Yuji, that fight.
Yeah, that fight. It just ended. So
right.
I feel like it's like the worst place they could have possibly ended.
I feel like they'll end the season at the like the games like Tokyo, Kyoto.
Because if I'm not mistaken, in the manga, it's at what, like chapter 31, chapter 30.
I think so. Yeah. I think it's around there. I don't quite remember.
And I'm on like chapter 70. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick it back up because now that I'm reading JoJo, I have a kind of like a flow of reading manga now. Because before I used to read manga more, often, but since I dropped manga, I didn't drop it, but I left it, alone.
Yeah.
And I got out of the habit of reading it. So now that I'm reading JoJo now, I'm getting in the habit of reading manga again. I'm finding it more enjoyable than I did before.
Right.
And I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna have to binge that slow flashback of Jujutsu Kaisen.
See, I feel like they could almost do a movie of that.
I feel like that's what they have to do because I feel like the season will be so slow and people are just not going to enjoy it. Kind of like the second season of Attack on Titan, but it was necessary.
Right. Like, I mean, it would be kind of like what Demon Slayer is doing, like they have like a long season that kind of fits perfectly with what they have in the beginning of the manga. Then they have like a portion of the manga where it's a little bit shorter of an arc. So it's like kind of fits like a nice hour to 2 hour movie nicely instead of like having a full season. And then they come back right in and it's at like another hot point in the manga.
Speaking of Demon Slayer, doesn't the movie come out this month?
Does it? I hope.
I'm positive. I'm 90% positive it does.
I hope, because it's supposed to be freaking amazing, and I don't doubt it.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Didn't it break Japan's record for like sales in a movie?
Yeah, I think it was like approaching Miyazaki, like the Studio Ghibli level.
I think it might have. I'm pretty sure I'm positive it passed it. So really? If that's the case, we gotta get on that the moment that movie drops, man.
Right.
But I was saying, Jujutsu Kaisen, who's your favorite character so far? Your favorite character?
I think you know who mine is. You haven't. Oh, you have seen it.
Yeah. I think Gojo might be my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, that's easy. But other than Gojo, because I feel like Gojo's everybody's like number one favorite character.
Right. My favorite's Todo.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Todo too. Because like after you see Todo like not act like an asshole to Yuji and everybody else, and you just like, how can you hate him? Because I'm not gonna spoil anything for Eric.
And even further, like when you get to the Shibuya arc, like Todo is so sick.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. There's been an argument recently. People have been trying to compare Gojo and Kakashi together.
I think I choose. I like Gojo more than Kakashi.
Yeah,
like there was a Chad meme about it. There was a freaking. I'll see if I can find it. But yeah, it was the version Kakashi, the Chad Gojo.
Right.
I know somebody that said they prefer Kakashi over Gojo, and I'm just like, why? But why?
I mean, Itachi, that's close.
Yeah, Itachi's different.
That's close to like the superb, fandom of the two. Because Gojo, I think, is gonna go down as like one of those characters that everybody just loves.
Yeah, no, he is like the definition of senpai. Like there's
right.
Character design too. Like his character design is so crisp and clean. You can't hate it. Like his eyes, like you would think because he's blind, his eyes would be like white, but they're not white. They're like a crystal blue kind of. And his white hair goes perfect with the blind look. He's literally the opposite of Kakashi. Kakashi has like a face, what do you call it? Like a face mask, and Gojo has the blindfold instead. And it's just
Is he blind?
I'm pretty sure he's blind. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I thought he wore the blindfold because he has the super vision, he like takes in too much information, so he does that to kind of like conceal some of it.
I don't know.
Yeah. Also,
He
I think
has
Gojo
six eyes, which is like his special technique.
Yeah. Gojo would win a fight against Kakashi too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Like, no, there's not even a fight. It's not even a fight. I mean,
Gojo's just too
the
OP.
closest person to get.
So
I feel like the only person that really have a chance against Gojo, that would be like Sasuke or Naruto. Like, but
what about my boy Hashirama?
I don't think so, man.
He's the god of shinobi. Come on.
He is, but literally Naruto and Sasuke have god powers.
Well, technically, Hashirama and Madara are also ancestor. They have inherited.
They can get it. They were given it by the sages who passed. So that's
right. They weren't given it, but they can be given it.
Yeah, exactly. If the situation were to happen, then it could happen. But in this current time where Hashirama doesn't have the Sage Six Path powers,
right?
Naruto and Sasuke are stronger. But we're not gonna get into that because people are gonna get heated.
I think what we need to talk about is the outro of Jujutsu Kaisen, because that is so smooth.
Yeah, that whole dance.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the beginning of Grease.
Yeah,
he's just taking the hair. He's in like the mirror. He's like,
yeah. What's crazy about Jujutsu Kaisen is I showed one of my friends that series when she was hanging out at my house or whatever. But she hates anime. She's told me, she's like, I do not really care for anime. And I'm just like, and there was a new episode of Jujutsu Kaisen on. And I'm just like, can we just try this one? Like, come on. And she's like, okay, yeah. And she actually loved it. She was like, I actually want to watch more of this series. And she's like, never liked anime. She's never liked Naruto or anything. And I played this one, and she's like, I like this one a lot more because like she actually liked how fucked up it is and just how more it just leaves you wanting more and more, and just like how it just gets progressively just worse and worse. Like I don't know, it's kind of like Attack on Titan in that sense, where it just everything just keeps somehow getting worse.
Right.
No, I don't think anything will be able to top Attack on Titan in terms of leaving the viewers waiting and craving, because that second season wait was ridiculous. It was like 4 years.
The second, it came out. I think it came out in like 2013, the first season, right, or something.
Yeah,
like crazy. Three years later, or something like that.
Right. I didn't even start watching Attack on Titan until it was getting into season 3, so I didn't have to wait.
Nice. Must be nice, kind of. Because I watched the first season as it dropped, and I thought the next season. I literally typed in after I finished the first season, when is the second season of Attack on Titan coming out? And it said next year. And then turns out they postponed it. And then that release date got postponed again. Right. And it was infuriating. Like,
oh my gosh. I remember when Attack on Titan was coming out in the first episode, and the first 2-3 episodes were coming out, and I had to pirate them online because my friend just showed me. He's like, yeah, check out this anime. It's getting released in Japan like week by week or whatever, but it's so cool. And he showed, I think it was like 2014 or something. He showed me Attack on Titan, or it was like 2014, 2013 was showing me Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was put off by Attack on Titan for the longest time because I just like looking at the pictures in that first season. I was just like, what are all these giant naked things running around? It just looked so weird. And I just never even gave it a shot. And then I finally was like, fuck it. Everybody loves it.
We're going to do it, man.
I
feel like Attack on Titan is arguably the anime of the century,
It kind of is. I don't know. My thing is like when I see something weird that people probably like the typical viewer isn't going to like, it usually draws me to it and I want to watch it more.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually how you find like the most hidden gems or the best shows, in my opinion, at least.
Right. I mean, that's Chainsaw Man for me, man. Like when I started reading that, it was like at chapter like 20 or 30, I think. And now it's like, I think it's going to be huge, especially now that it's getting an anime. That's going to be so huge. Have you guys tried reading it at all?
I just had somebody
highly recommend. Honestly, like equal, if not better at times than Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay. I had somebody come to me on Discord, and they private messaged me asking me if I read this manga called Opus or Opus by Satoshi Kon. It's the same author of Perfect Blue and what else? In Paranoia Agent, and he's also his other manga works with Tropic of the Sea or The Apartment Horror. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of it.
I haven't seen. Are they all movies like anime?
No, the Apartment Horror and Tropic of the Sea are manga, and Paranoia Agent and as you guys know, Perfect Blue.
Yeah.
Have you seen Paranoia Agent?
No, not.
Ooh, I actually watched that back when I think I was in the 6th or 7th. No, I was in the 5th grade when that came out. 5th, 6th grade, and I was watching that with my friend.
Okay, so is it good or?
I think it's very, very good. I think it's like so underrated. And that was like one of the first animes. That's when I started watching anime on Adult Swim when I was like in the 4th grade. And then I was watching like Big O, Inuyasha, Paranoia Agent when it came out, and then a few other shows. Full Metal. I was on Cartoon Network, and then Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah. So Paranoia Agent is a series. It's not a movie.
It's a series. Yeah, it's a psychological thriller.
Those are my favorites, so maybe we watch that at some point.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I feel like I might just pick it up because I feel like if it's by the author that made Perfect Blue, I'm gonna absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's very good.
You can just tell sometimes that like anything that's the authors produce at that point is just gonna be fire.
Pretty much, yeah. Especially if it's like in that anime form. I don't think Paranoid Agent didn't even have a manga or anything. It just was an anime. I find that animes that are mangas or start off as mangas first. Like mangas can be a little back and forth because there's mangas that are really like they're superb for like a while, and then they hit a point maybe towards the ending or something where you feel like the writer's being pushed too hard to start releasing chapters, and the quality of it just goes down. And sometimes that reflects in the anime. I find that like animes that didn't have previous manga releases, there's like a different vibe to it. Like they actually got to spend more time there and get to write it and flesh things out a little better.
Right.
I feel like Kimetsu no Yaiba did that like exactly what you just said. Like it was amazing through majority of the manga, and then towards the end, it hit a point where it didn't feel as good as the rest of the chapters. Like, do you know what I mean, Connor? Or
I agree. I think that I think they kind of did it in a different way where like she started getting pressured by like the shonen community and whatnot, and instead of just like completely sacrificing the whole series and just sticking it out and like making it longer and longer and longer, she's like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna end it.
Oh yeah, and the publishing company too also decides a lot of things, whether to end it or whether to do something new or do something different to change the tone with the audience. And I think that's what happened with the ending towards Beastars. That ending just disappointed the shit out of me, at least like the last 30-20 chapters were like, I feel like it just got too much pressure from the publishing company, from Shonen and other sources, and then just decided to end it and kind of I don't know, maybe waned it a little bit towards the ending because it was supposed to end earlier. Or I don't know. It really sucked, but yeah.
I've been starting to like try to read more series that aren't published by Shonen Jump. Like I've been reading, like obviously Berserk is by like Hakunsha or something like that. But clearly they're not pressuring him to publish stuff that often, as it goes on hiatus often. Yeah. But the benefit of allowing something to go on hiatus like that, I think, allows a better series. Like if they're not getting pressured to come up with stuff, then it allows them to like actually create the plot and continue the story the way they would like. Whereas,
definitely. I feel like they pressure the wrong people because they need to pressure Togashi to writing another chapter. Like
I don't know if it'll ever finish, honestly.
You don't think he's gonna finish it?
This is my prediction. My prediction for Hunter x Hunter. You're hearing it first from a Hunter x Hunter degenerate. I think Hunter x Hunter, he's going to end it with them just never making it to the Dark Continent. I think that so much shit is just going to happen as they're sailing there that they're never going to land. That's my prediction. Because I think he opened up the Pandora's box into the Dark Continent, and it's going to be too much. He's not going to be able to create a story that's going to be able to end properly, in a allotted time frame that he would like. So it's just going to not happen. They're just not going to make it there.
That's true, because especially what you do with the Chimera Ant arc, he has to do this with the Dark Continent arc too, or at least do something on par with that, and that's just going to take so much
Right.
effort and oh my gosh.
Right. Like if he makes them get to the if they land on the Dark Continent arc, it's going to be at least 100 chapters.
Yeah. Did they ever release why he went on a hiatus, or people just assume why he went
He's
on
had health issues.
health issues?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
He's
is why
old now, right?
he kind of went on hiatus at first, and then he kind of like came back on his own terms and like made chapters here and there, and then he's just kind of like progressively gotten worse.
How old is he? You know how old he
He's
is?
in the 50s, like mid.
Yeah, he's in his 50s.
Well, he started early. You got to think like he had Yu Yu Hakusho, which was like early 90s, 94 around there. But he also had another series. I think it was like Planet E or something like that, or Perfect E. I can't remember exactly what it's called. That was like a shorter series that was like 90 or 91. So he's been around for a while.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like the amount of work mangakas are put through also has a big factor on his health, because
Right.
they truthfully speaking, some mangakas have to have a separate apartment than their actual house, because they wake up, go to their studio, go to sleep, wake up, go to the studio, and like it's brutal, and they get paid pennies a chapter, so it sucks. It really does.
I watched a couple videos. There was actually like the life of a mangaka, and they like went through and documented it. And it's literally like they wake up, they go into their studio room if it's in their house or their studio. They sit on a computer, draw, and then they have like a couple other like assistants that are drawing other stuff and sending it to them, and they're kind of doing like
the same video as you.
yeah. But there's people like Togashi who are so protective of their works where they don't want anybody to do
Togashi worked by himself completely.
I mean, he may have some assistants doing some stuff, but I read that he likes to do all of his own illustrations and he likes to have complete control over his story.
That's brutal.
Right. And you know like how much pressure these shonen series have.
Exactly.
He's had two that are arguably like top series of their decades. So
yeah.
I mean,
I give Togashi, man. He have you guys watched Bakuman or no?
No.
Oh, so it's an anime about, or manga about, literally mangakas, like upcoming mangakas who want to be, the best mangakas, and it's really good. I recommend it.
I've heard of it. I've seen the manga, but I haven't like watched or read it myself.
Yeah, but so it's kind of like, you need somebody to push you up, and you can't allow yourself to do that. You can't allow yourself to do, because there's stress, there's fatigue that comes with all of it, and working by yourself is just literally like knocking on death's door, because like Tokyo Ghoul, for example, Kaneki's mom, she was always working, and what happened in the end,
Right.
So it sucks, man. It sucks, because Togashi was extremely talented.
Right.
So
I kind of wish, like, I love all of like his artwork and his stories, but I kind of hope that he just like keeps complete story and like narrative to himself, and just like allows some people to help him do the illustrations, because I mean, I can understand the want to do it all yourself when you created this from scratch and it's like your ideal, but I can also see clearly the health benefit or health, factors that can weigh into that.
Right, definitely. Well, Japan has a huge thing with being a workaholic state. Like a lot of the people there just work like ridiculous hours and aren't able to like have a life outside of work.
Right.
That's one reason why, like, for example, like in Japan, like face masks or something before even coronavirus, because when they got sick, they can't afford to get other people sick. So they always wear a face mask if they're sick, and they'll still have to work,
Right.
Because it's just it's a working country. Like nobody, like a sick day is unheard of.
Right.
And you can't leave until the boss leaves. So it's just like, it's a fucked up hierarchy system they have.
And it seems like that's why it's so hard to like relocate there too. Like I was watching the Trash Taste podcast, and they're saying that you're a YouTuber, like you make videos, you're a content creator. They like view that as not like a real job, even if you have like 2 million subscribers.
They don't.
Oh yeah, and to move to Japan, well, Japan's really hard to move there too because Japan's an ethno state. Like they won't let like anyone go, like hardly anyone move there for any extended period of time. That's why it's all like there's not much immigration or of any at all.
Right. Yeah, my friend that's going to college there, he like it's very even more so with the pandemic. It seems like he can't really like just come back home and go. I mean, obviously there's not really world travel right now, but even before, like the visa system there seemed very strict.
Yeah, up until recently, they didn't allow even students to enter the country. Like there was this point in time where they didn't allow anybody but Japanese to allow into the country, and they got into some trouble with the UN because they were being, I forgot the term that they used, but basically they were being racist to or discriminating other countries because they were not Japanese. So they had to drop the that whole rule that only Japanese people or people of Japanese descent can enter Japan. So if you were a resident, if you're working in Japan, if you are a student in Japan, then you can only enter Japan. But nobody else can enter Japan.
Yeah, Japanese does that. They have a culture, especially like older Japanese folk have a history of being like very, very racist, more so than like younger people. It's like they have a weird type of discrimination there. Also in Japan, there's not very much discrimination towards gay men, but towards lesbian, it's like there's a lot of like discrimination for women being gay, like versus men. Like it's very strange in that sense.
Yeah,
that's why you don't really hear as much with that in like other like mangas and other things about like women being gay or having lesbian. Like it's there, but it's not like nearly as prevalent as men.
And if you were to go to like even the tattoos, man, they're so old fashioned. Like if Eric were to go into Japan right now, they would like stare at him like he's Yakuza or something.
They would fucking stare at me too because I'm like twice as tall as all of them too. Like I couldn't imagine going to Japan because like I guarantee like it's rare to even find someone there that's 6 foot, and I'd be like 6'6", so like I would just like tower over everyone. I don't even know if I'd be able to like get inside like most of the shops or doors there. Like
that's funny, but
I want to go so bad.
But since we haven't touched base on it yet, but. Since you caught up to Attack on Titan yet, since now you're caught up to Attack on Titan, can we talk about how that bandaged man was Kruger, and the one that basically was the owl, traitor in Aaron's father's time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about that? And then the old man next to him was apparently Aaron's grandfather. I'm not sure if you guys picked that up, but
wait. So what are you? What are you?
Okay. So basically, can we discuss how like those characters that we expected not to be like anyone really ended up being significant characters in the show, and how they tried to sneak that into the episode without giving the slightest of hints, And
then like the last word is like Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that was kind of cool. Like I kind of had a feeling that it was Aaron. Like it kind of had like an appearance, I thought, that resembled him, other than like the long hair, like just the eye. Like what I noticed that kind of made me think it was Aaron was the eyes, because he had like the blue tint to it that like he gets when he uses the Founding Titan. And it also, it's a kind of prediction of mine as well. You could see like the was it House Tyrus, the other ruling house there that controls the Hammerhead Titan.
Warhammer. Yeah,
he also had blue in his eyes. So I think somehow, since they are like connected through the Founding Titan, I think somehow Aaron was controlling him to release the information that they were talking. Because you know how like the episode ended with him releasing the situation that they were in, that they lost the war and whatnot. Yeah. I think that's Aaron infiltrating the Marlians or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
That's my prediction anyway, but I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I just want to know how he lost his leg. Like, what happened?
Wait, I don't think that was. I don't think that was the right Aaron you're thinking about. I think that was Kruger, the owl, the guy that what's his name? Released. Basically, how do I say? So Aaron's father, right? Remember how he was looking for the guy that was undercover?
Yeah.
And basically he saved Aaron's father's life because he killed that that the I forgot what his name was, but the king or whatever he was, the officer. But I think that's the Aaron then. I think that
he died.
That's who it was.
He died.
Did he die though?
Yeah, because he had the founding Titan, and then Aaron's dad took it and brought it to whatever Paradise Island or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
Because he was the original founding Titan. That's why he was like the owl. He was trying to get the founding Titan out of the Marleyans' control.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Wow. So he died, and also technically they only last 10 years once you take one of the Titans. So
that would have been long before.
Right. So I'm pretty sure that is like Eren Yeager, like the actual Eren.
Yeah, but then what happened?
Right. I mean, guess we're gonna have to see when the time skip happens.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. You just blew my mind with that explanation, Connor, because I didn't even think that at all.
Right, yeah, because he was the original founding Titan, remember? Mm-hmm. And like he was the one that explained it all to Eren's dad.
And who was that old guy next to him? Because I'm pretty sure he was basically saying how his son left to what do you call it? The left and made a new family basically.
Right, outside of the I think that is Eren's grandfather.
Okay.
Because that was the one that is like, was it Zeke? Is he the Beast Titan, right?
Yeah, Zeke is the Beast Titan.
I think that's Zeke's, or maybe that's Zeke's grandfather. So maybe it's Eren's great grandfather. Maybe. I'm not really positive about him.
Attack on Titan is confusing, man. I feel like you gotta decipher everything.
It is. I mean,
at least in this season, you gotta decipher everything that's going on.
That's kind of what I like, though. I like that they're like making it unclear, so everybody's like kind of freaking out. They're like, "Wait, what if it's this? And what if it's that?" And then it's like once the information's finally dropped, it's gonna be like, "Holy shit!"
Man, mind-boggling, mind-fucking shit going on in this season, man. But I love it, man. You keep like, how can you hate? I don't understand anybody that hates Attack on Titan. Like, I never will, because Attack on Titan.
Are there people out there that actually hate Attack on Titan, or?
I'm pretty sure there are.
I mean, there have to be a few, but
I'm sure there are some that just say they hate it just cause,
just to be, hipsters and rebellious.
Right. I mean, even people that don't like gore and like stuff like that, like Orange Spade, one of my buddies that I talk to on here every so often, he says he doesn't really like gore or anything, and I recommended him to try Attack on Titan. I was like, there's definitely gore in it, but I mean, the story is just amazing, and he even loved it. So honestly, like,
it's hard. Even the episode where they showed Reiner and Berthold's background and stuff like that, and when they came to the the walls and stuff like that, like they showed a side that we've never seen before, and it kind of like opened our eyes to what they went through, during their youth, and how they were stripped from their childhood to basically kill people that they're supposed to hate. And Reiner went through some kind of split personality,
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome, because he ended up being thinking them as actual friends.
Right.
He was supposed to hate them. So even like Berthold realized that, and he didn't want to say anything. That's why he made that face when Reiner transformed in front of Eren. Like, everything just falls into place with Attack on Titan, and you really have to like build everything like it's they're blocks, and that's what I love, because it's a puzzle. Attack on Titan is a big puzzle.
It is. I have a question for you guys. So I found, when I was manga shopping the other day in my manga shopping video, I found a series called Attack on Titan Before the Fall. Have you guys heard of that?
I have heard of Attack on Titan Before the Fall.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that before. And I guess it's a series. It has 17 volumes.
What?
And it takes place, I think it's like 15 or 17 years or something before the fall of the wall, before Bertolt and the Armored Titan like broke through Walmeria and whatnot. I never knew that was a thing.
So does it take place with Eren's father? Like, who does it take?
I think it's completely new characters. It looked like it was a bunch of people that were currently in the scout regiment. I don't know. I really have no idea anything about it, but there was like some guy with long blonde hair that was like flying around with the swords and whatnot. That had like, I think he had the scout uniform on.
It's not the what is he? It's not the commander, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Interesting.
Right. I don't think it has a manga either, or anime. I think it's just manga right now. But I kind of want to read it because it seems pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's something we should definitely read.
Right. I think it's somebody else doing the series. I think the creator of Attack on Titan has like a say in it and kind of oversees it, but I don't think he's personally.
So it's like Dragon Ball GT, kind of.
Right. Or kind of like what Boruto was before.
Okay.
The main mangaka like kind of
took
it over.
No, yeah, definitely.
All right. Have you guys seen the side series for Attack on Titan that takes place of like how Levi entered the Scouts?
I haven't actually.
You should watch those. I watched those a couple months ago.
Episodes?
It's like
episodes.
Yeah, there's like 3 episodes, I think. It's like kind of like a movie that they broke up into a couple episodes. And it takes place of like Levi when he was like living in the underground, and how he got out to like the main city and how he
so this is
the Scouts and whatnot.
When, what's his name? What is his name? Something the Ripper. Levi's uncle.
Kenny
the Ripper. Like, is he in the episodes or no?
Not so much him now.
Okay.
More so Commander Irwin.
Okay. I feel like I wish Kenny the Ripper was in it because I think he's a really fucking cool character. Right?
He's really
cool.
I want to see more of him.
What service is this on?
I watched it online. I just looked it up online somewhere.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was called, but if you just look up like the Attack on Titan, like Levi backstory, you'll be able to find it. But it kind of all touches upon how there was like this dynamic where the like underground cities, like the impoverished people living underground aren't allowed to see the surface. Like there's guards and there's like all these stairs that separate it. So they're technically not allowed to come out from the underground. And a lot of people like never see the day of light. They just live their whole life down there. And he's part of like the Ackermans, which can't be controlled by the king, by the Titans' powers. So they're supposed to be kind of like eradicated. So it's all about like, him getting out of there basically. It was really
cool. Sounds really interesting because I did want to see some more backstory on Levi, and I was kind of surprised that they didn't have it, but I guess they do. So
sure. Yeah, it's really good. And so the last episode's super fucked up. Super depressing, but
sounds right up my alley. I'll have to watch it.
Sounds right up my alley. All right. You guys have any other anime you guys want to talk about, or?
No, I think that's good for me. I think you guys should both watch those because it's only like 3 episodes, and we should talk about that next time.
No, definitely. I would definitely like get on that. Probably today or tomorrow. But I'm so glad we don't have to edit these podcasts anymore, man. Like, it just saves so much time.
Oh, yeah. No, this is so much more efficient.
Right. I like it, too, because it's more real. I feel like when you're
definitely,
editing it, like, well, I guess I never really edited all of it. I kind of just, like, cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same here.
But, yeah, no, the streaming's fun because you get live engagement with people.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But, yeah, well, this is the episode. This was 22, right?
22.
Yeah.
I hope you guys, enjoyed our, live stream of this episode and got to be a part of the conversation and shared your opinions, what you thought about some of the topics that we discussed. And we'll catch you guys next Monday, right, guys? Or
next Monday.
Yeah, next Monday, and we're gonna do the Levi backstory, more Stone Ocean.
Stone Ocean. We'll get.
How far are we reading to Stone Ocean?
We'll just kind of play it by ear, I suppose. At least another 15.
Yeah,
at the very least, yeah.
Yeah,
another 15 is fine because that's like in real manga style. That's like 30 chapters, right?
Right. Yeah, that's like a whole volume or 2.
Yeah,
I don't even know how they're gonna do this anime adaptation without having to have a bazillion episodes.
Yeah, it's so damn long, man. What?
It's gonna have probably like
and the way they break it up is so confusing. Like it's like part 1, 2, 3, and then part 1, 2, 3 again, and like it's weird.
Right. It's not chapters, it's parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on Manga Dex, it does say the chapter name next to JoJo, so that's convenient.
Yeah,
definitely.
But yeah, so we're gonna read 15 more chapters of JoJo. I watch the Levi backstory. I want to check out that Attack on Titan
for the fall,
right?
Yeah, it seems cool. I haven't really looked into it too much yet, though.
Okay. But if I see something, I'm gonna kind of bring it up if I do end up reading it. So,
Cool.
All right, y'all. I'm in my stream.